Oh, yes, yes, yes. Hello, it's your man, the Triple B. Your man, the Triple B. You know, when he's just sitting there watching some whack boxing. It's on YouTube. It's a Sky Sports show. Dan Aziz. He's Shakan Peters. Dan Aziz is the guy that, you know that guy Terry who speaks on Porky's? Even if you don't, it doesn't matter. Porky's copied my stuff a lot, you know. You start to change his thumbnails and stuff. Triple B style. But he Terry, this guy said that Dan Aziz would beat Beterbiev. I mean, these guys are so deluded, you know. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that bomber clap. So there's this new Sky Sports boxer announcer, yeah. Yeah, his name is Kody Mommaerts, I think is how you pronounce it. Yeah, and he calls himself Big Mo. Big Mo. He looks like some Batman's, right? He's got this big blonde bouffant haircut. You can see he loves himself. You know, he looks like he could be a Chad. You know, he's big. He's obviously, you know, quite good looking. No homo. But, you know, something about me that says, boom, boom, Batman's, you know, the radar. And Triple B ain't a huge fan of announcers anyway, right? Because they're largely narcissists, right? You can see that in my David Greenblatt Diamante vids. They're basically narcissists that love themselves, that love the sound of their own voice. You know, probably they're usually failed actors and this kind of stuff. But, you know, they get a buzz from being in the middle of the ring and introducing fighters. I mean, come on, man. Huh? And this guy, Big Mo, has just called himself, right? He's trademarked his name on Twitter. He's trademarked his name, Big Mo. I'll get back to that. He's about 25-year-old. He played some American football at college level, right? But he's like, he's got no boxing background, nothing. Zero, none, yeah? Except calling a few whack facts. Yeah? And he even admits on this interview, the reason I'm talking about it is I watched the interview on IFL TV. I don't really watch IFL that much, but I was like, who is this guy? You know, he was calling a few fights a couple of weeks ago on Sky. So I'm like, oh, obviously he's the Sky version of David Greenblatt. So, you know, he's got no boxing background. He admits, yeah, I didn't used to watch boxing. So so why are you announcing this? Well, because he loves himself, obviously. And you could say, oh, all he's doing is announcing. He doesn't know about boxing. But come on, man. You know, some knowledge of boxing at least. Yeah, can bring you advantages. You know, when you get interviewed and this kind of stuff. But this idiot's basically just saying he's just a talking head. Yeah. You know, you remember there was a funny thing. You know, John McDonald. He was a UK MC announcer, right? And he called a fight between Paul Smith and someone else, and he forgot their names. And he's like going, anyway, check it out in a minute. But he's like going, oh, Paul.
British super middleweight champion from Liverpool, Paul.
How could you forget a name like Smith, man? You know. But I quite like John McDonald, to be honest with you. You know, I don't really understand why every announcer has to be American these days, right? Anyway, Big Mo, Kody Mommaerts says, unsurprisingly, he does it all for the fans.
It's been a lot of fun being introduced to the UK, and boxing here is very different than it is in America. Not that it's not popular in America, but here I think it's more of a cultural thing. I love the passion behind it. The fans are so into it, and I love it because everything I do is about engaging with the fans and creating an atmosphere. So when the fans are really into it, it makes my job that much more fun.
He's like, he's like Ricky Hannon, Triple B, does everything for the fans, he says. You know, to believe what these narcissists say, I'm doing it for the fans. That's just like, also David Diamante said that. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't, You can't believe that. I don't know, why would you get a Yank over here in the UK to call your fights? I'm sure there's British guys that can do it. Yeah? And listen to me, you don't need much skill to be an MC, to call a mic. In fact, it's very easy. Yeah? You need some confidence, so that when people look at you, you keep your hair cool, and a bit of narcissism, so that you look at one of them guys, Bruce Buffer. Who's the other one? His brother. The other, Michael Buffer. They just love it, I remember, Michael Buffer is probably the most narcissistic of all. With the makeup, and I think he's had a chin lift, and this is all these guys are, failed actors, right, who managed to find their way to the position of getting a job where everyone can look at them. That's what it is. And as I said earlier, right, this guy, Kody, has actually trademarked his name. Big Mo TM. TM means trademark. You go on his Twitter, you see it, man. I mean, are you serious? Can you hear me like blood? These guys are so self-obsessed. They trademark their own names and they blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, I've never boxed. Oh, by the way, I never watched boxing, but, I'm Big Mo. It's pathetic, man, this idiot, man. I don't know why he got chosen. Probably links, but he's not, I don't think he's not related to Ben Shalom Ben Shalom, but, I find it kind of weird. And, these idiots, these MCs, they've all got a catchphrase, always got a catchphrase, right? I don't necessarily mind that. I think it's a gimmick, the normies and casuals get excited by, let's get ready to rumble. And David Greenblatt's one, which is a bit whacker, what does he say? The fight starts now. I mean, that's pretty poor, isn't it, man? Surely he comes on better than that. But this fool, Kody, Big Mo, TM, I don't use his name, infringes trademark, Big Mo, says, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then he says, get wild, allegedly in some of his fights. So it's all about himself. Can you hear me? Me. And the first fight I saw him at was Chris Billum Smith Chamberlain. He did that, can you hear me? I mean, it's pathetic, really. The crowd were not that enthusiastic about that. But, Now, I understand you've got to have some showbiz ting. But not only is that whack, self-centered, right? And not get the crowd buzzing, but, I mean, these MCs, I don't know how much they get paid, but too much would be my answer. I mean, there aren't people that are going, I can't wait to see the Joshua Usyk fight. I really hope David Greenblatt, will introduce the fight because that's the best bit of the fight. And I know Michael Buffer, actually. Let's get ready to rumble. He does. People like him him saying that because it gets them excited and stuff. But the reality is, these guys are just narcissists, actors, clowns. And I don't understand why he was picked. Although, my theory is, this guy's picked out of the blue, Big Mo, because he will push the narrative. He will push the agenda. He'll push the NWO movement. So he'll, whenever he gets interviewed, he'll talk about diversity and, stuff like that, and probably start pushing plant and insect eating. That's the only reason I could think why this idiot would get pulled out. Anyway, he's a clown, but the whole world is a clown world, so what the F?